I'm Charlie Vance, and I want to tell you a little bit about myself and why I'm doing this talk. In 2009, I received my Doctor of Chiropractic degree from Palmer, Florida, which is just down the road a little bit. And a little while later, I received a diplomate in acupuncture from the International Association of Medicinal Acupuncture. I don't practice for reasons I won't get into now, but I am certified in both, and I must say that Florida doesn't recognize that, even though I am the acupuncture diplomat, even though I am certified by board. I have an undergraduate degree in computer science and worked with the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration for over 20 years as a contractor or a public servant. And I work with their computer systems dealing with the ingest, processing, and dissemination of meteorological satellite data, which was really fun. I'm kind of a Renaissance person. I really enjoy the health, anatomy, physiology, and especially nutrition. And I love technology. I also like to garden. I'm really handy. I worked on houses, drywall, electrical, painting. I mean, I've kind of done everything. And my real love is music. When I was 9, I was invited to be the youngest member of the Newark, Delaware Community Orchestra, which became the Newark Symphony the next year. I'm a lifetime member of the Society for the Preservation of Barbershop Quartet Singing in America. Try saying that as an acronym. And I hack around on ukulele and the guitar and piano, but my instrumental stuff now is pretty much geared around the computer, which ties into my love of technology. Now, my parents and my grandparents were all musical. They all played an instrument and several of them sang. So that's great to have in my family history. But what's scary about my family history is what happened to my parents and grandparents as they started getting older and whether their minds went. My mother's father was a medical doctor, and he died at the age of 50. So we really don't know where his mind would have gone had he got older, but he was depressed, which is probably why he died, because he just felt guilty he couldn't save one of his children, and it just manifested, and he died of a heart attack, broken heart probably. My mother's mother lived into her 70s, but she was pretty senile by the time she died, to the point where she had to be turned in bed so that she wouldn't have these bed sores just become really infected. My mother just had her 88th birthday, and her memory has been going, and she's having some cognition issues, and that's kind of scary. My father's father was an electrical engineer, and he lived into his early 90s. But for several decades, he was having memory problems, and by the time, a few years before he died, he really didn't know who people were around him. He thought my mother might have been his mother, he didn't recognize my father, and he was very docile and happy, but it was, he just wasn't there. My father's mother died in her mid-80s of a massive stroke. And she was a very determined woman, so it was a good thing she died, because she would have been really frustrated if she could only use half her body or something of that nature. And she had started having some problems adapting prior to that stroke. My father, who passed away just over a year ago, was cause of death listed as cardiac failure or heart failure and Alzheimer's. And we had seen his mind decline a little bit. So that's pretty scary for me, because I don't know where I'm going to go over the next few decades. And that's part of the reason why I'm doing this talk. It's for my benefit as well as yours. I am also a Toastmaster, and Toastmasters is an international organization that helps people with public speaking skills and leadership skills. And this talk today is based around a Toastmasters project called Building Your Thinking Power, Part 1, Mental Flexibility. Now, this talk is around 2 hours long, and it involves several workshops where people get together, where you all would separate and do some projects and come back and we discuss it. I decided we wouldn't do those workshops as individual groups. We would interact as one group at large, but I wanted to use the remaining time to cover other aspects of dementia and how we can either slow down the progress or keep it from happening, especially with some of the things I've learned as a doctor and a health nut myself. With that said, let's begin.
If you'll take a minute.